Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Caitanya Caritāmrta class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathānvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते देवे गौरवाणी चारिणे निर्विशेषाद्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We are discussing from Madhya Lila. We are on chapter 12, the wonderful pastimes of cleaning of Gundicha temple. So in this chapter, we have heard how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wonderful devotee Prataparudra Maharaj, he was really desperate to get mercy of the Lord. He tells Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please do something. I want to meet Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, I'll leave everything, I'll become a beggar. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya becomes astonished seeing this affection of Prataparudra for Lord Sri Chaitanya. He consoles him. And then the devotees, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya goes to Nityanand Prabhu and all the other devotees and tells them that this is the condition of the king. All the devotees, they go to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu tells the desire of the king. The Lord says, I can't meet because he is a king. She may be a wonderful devotee, but the only fault he has is he is a king. And then he says, Mahaprabhu tells, okay, just give him the Nijavastra, my cloth. So the Nijavastra, the personal Tariya of the Lord is sent, and king, he becomes so very happy and he worships the cloth just like the Lord himself. And then Nityanand Prabhu, he makes one suggestion. Can you meet then Ramanand Rai comes and he tells the glories of Prataparudra Maharaj. And Ramanand Rai is expert in kingly affairs. He is a minister. So Ramanand Rai, he very nicely manipulates and he convinces Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to at least meet the son of Prataparudra Maharaj. Prataparudra Maharaj's son, he was very young and he had a blackish complexion. He comes and Lord, when he sees the son, he thinks he remembers Krishna, embraces the son of Prataparudra Maharaj and makes him one of the intimate associates. Prataparudra Maharaj, when he embraces the son, he also develops the same ecstatic feelings. And then after some time, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he desires to do Gundicha Marjan as Rath Yatra is coming. Mahaprabhu calls Kashi Mishra and the superintendent of the Jagannath Puri temple and tells them that I have this desire to clean Gundicha. They tell that it doesn't befit you to clean, but because it is your desire, we'll arrange everything. So they arrange hundreds of pots, hundreds of brooms, and Lord personally takes all the devotees to Gundicha and starts cleaning. Very wonderful lessons we heard in the pastime of Gundicha Marjan. How Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is sets a wonderful example. He tells how one should clean the heart of gross anarthas and the subtle anarthas also. In between, he chastises a Bengali disciple, Bengali Vaishnava, and he tells Sarup Damodar, this is your Bengali Vaishnava, just see what he has done. So wonderful uh, things happened in the cleaning of Gundicha temple, and we discussed till verse number 135. We'll continue from verse number 136. In the purport of 135th verse, Srila Prabhupada describes in detail the wonderful teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through this pastime of Gundicha Marjan. Now, from 136 onwards, now the temple of Gundicha is clean. There is a small temple of Lord Narasimhadev also besides Gundicha temple. So Lord cleans the temple of Narasimhadev very nicely. And finally, after cleaning the temple, he rested for a few minutes and then he began dancing in Sankirtan. Chari dige bhaktagana korena kirtan madhye nritya karena prabhu matta simhasam. So all the devotees are around Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a mad lion. Matta simhasam. He is dancing in the midst of all the devotees. And as he is dancing, all the static symptoms are manifesting in the body of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shveda Kampa Vaivarnya Shru Pulaka Hunkar Nijanga Dhui Age Chale Ashrudhar. Shveda, his entire body was covered with perspiration, he was trembling, tears were coming out. Sorry. And indeed, the tears were coming out of his body and it was washing his own body and whoever was in front of him. They were all washed by the tears of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it was a wonderful experience. To be bathed by the tears of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to be bathed in the ecstatic love. Tears of Lord is the manifestation of the ecstatic love of the Lord. And his tears, these tears were not coming like drops, they were coming like syringes. They poured like rains, Kaviraj Goswami says. They were pouring like rains in the month of Shravana. Maha Uccha Sankirtane Akasha Bharila Prabhura Uddanda Nritye Bhumi Kampa Huila. Mahaprabhu was dancing in such a wonderful way that entire earth seemed to be shaking. Bhumi Kampa Huila. And it was ecstatic kirtan. The entire sky was filled with the joy and the vibrations of the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was dancing and Swarup Damodar, he was singing. Mahaprabhu always liked the chanting of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Sangite Gandharvasam Shastre Brihaspati Damodar Samar Nahi Mahamati. Swarup Damodar Goswami was an expert singer. Sangite Gandharvasam. He would sing like a Gandharva. At the same time, he was a very, very profound scholar. Shastre Brihaspati. So Swarup Damodar Goswami was singing very wonderfully, loudly, and Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstasy. With great joy, he was dancing in the kirtan. And ultimately, after dancing for some time, Mahaprabhu stopped. There was wonderful, all the devotees were assembled. Advaitacharya was there. Advaitacharya, he had a son called Gopal. Small boy. Mahaprabhu ordered Gopal, you start dancing. And Gopal started dancing in ecstasy and he went into such ecstasy that he fainted, unconscious. There was no symptoms of life in his body. Advaitacharya immediately picked up the child, put him on his lap, and was trying to revive the child. He tried many things, but Gopal didn't come back to consciousness. Advaitacharya started crying. All the devotees were chanting loudly this Hare Krishna mantra. And they were chanting so loudly that it seemed that entire universe was shaking by their chanting. They were really desperately calling the Lord for mercy. But still, the child didn't come back to consciousness. They started to cry. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw this beautiful, wonderful scene, and he just came and placed his hand on the chest of the small boy Gopal and said, Gopal, stand up. As soon as Gopal heard, immediately he came out of this unconscious state, again came back to senses, and all the devotees, they started dancing. So Mahaprabhu, sometimes he shows this wonderful, astonishing feats to show his supremacy. Who is he? He's not an ordinary personality. He is a supreme personality of God himself. He can do anything. And to show his unique situation, supreme situation, sometimes he performs pastimes which are not ordinarily possible for anyone. A small boy developing symptoms of ecstasy and falling unconscious. And then just everyone was trying to bring him back to consciousness. They were not able to do so. Just by the touch of Mahaprabhu, he came back to consciousness. So Mahaprabhu, although he never ever declared that he is God, but by his pastimes, he many times proved that he is the Supreme Lord himself. Because there must be some things which are done by an avatar, which proves him to be different and extraordinary. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as a small child, his body had all the symptoms of 32 symptoms of a great personality. And he was predicted by Nilambar Chakravarti to be such a powerful uh, personality. So therefore, although Lord never ever accepted that he is God, but in between sometimes he would perform pastimes to show that he is God. He performed Mahaprakasha lila. He showed everyone his wonderful pastimes, wonderful opulences. He told devotees what had happened with them many years back. On many occasions, he showed his form of Krishna. He showed his form of Krishna to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He showed his form to Ramananda Rai. He showed his form of Varahadev to Murari Gupta. So, all these wonderful pastimes the Lord performs to show that he is the Supreme Lord. Then Mahaprabhu Kaviraj Goswami writes, Ei lila varniya chena dasa vrindavan Ata eva sangshepa karilu varnan. So again and again, Kaviraj Goswami shows his humility that I am not describing any of the things which are already described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the matter of etiquette. If a previous Acharya has already written about something, there is no need to repeat it for personal sense gratification or to outdo the previous Acharya. I have written it. It's a personal sense gratification. My name will be glorified. I have done this. So a devotee never does it. However empowered one may be, he never surpasses what previous acharyas have done. Unless there is an instruction. And that is what Kaviraj Goswami is doing here. Again and again he tells, I am describing this in brief because Vrindavan Das Thakur has already done it. Already described in detail. He does it many times. That's why if you see Adi Lila, Kaviraj Goswami gives very briefly because Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavata has described Adi Lila in great detail. And as he was writing the Madhya lila, Adi lila became so huge. Then he started describing the lila of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda lila varnane hoila avesh chaitanya rashesha lila rahila avashesh. He started thinking, my book has become so big. Who will read my book? So he summarized all the remaining pastimes. So therefore, Kaviraj Goswami is describing all these Madhya lila and Antya lila in detail, not Adi lila. And interestingly, we have heard the pastime of Keshav Kashmiri also. Whatever Vrindavan Das Thakur has described, Kaviraj Goswami doesn't describe that, and still it is a huge pastime mentioned in Chaitanya Caritāmrta. And Chaitanya Bhagavat also describes this pastime with complete different explanations. So that is the beauty of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's pastimes are like ocean. चैतन्य चंद्रेर लीला अपार अगाध की कहिले पारे तहा अवगाह साध तहार माधुर्य गंधे लुप्त होए मन अतएव तटे रही चाकिए कण. So Kaviraj Goswami says pastimes of Mahaprabhu, they are like the shoreless, bottomless ocean. Who can cross this ocean? And I'm a small, insignificant person. I'm just trying to taste a drop of the wave of this ocean of pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing on the shore. So therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says, "Ei lila varniya chena dasa vrindavan ataiva sankshep kari karilu varnan." And then he continues. Kaviraj Goswami continues. What happens further? After taking rest, so Mahaprabhu and all the devotees, they took rest for some time, started dancing, static dancing happened, and again they took rest for some time. And then all the devotees, they departed. They took their baths in the Sarovar. After bathing, they came back on the bank of the lake. They put on their dry garments and they offered their obeisances to Narasimhadev. Mahaprabhu, he was sitting in the garden, and then Vaninath Rai came. As instructed by Mahaprabhu, he brought great quantities of Mahaprasad. And he brought so much Mahaprasad. Kashi Mishra was there, and Tulasi, the superintendent, was there. They all brought so much Mahaprasad that 500 men could eat. It was full of various varieties of rice, cakes, sweetmeats, all varieties of vegetables. It was a wonderful sight to see. Just by seeing all this Mahaprasad, Mahaprabhu was very satisfied. All the devotees, they were present along with them. The senior most devotees were there. Brahmananda Bharati, Paramananda Puri, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhar Pandit, Shrivas Thakur, Vakreshwar Pandit. All these wonderful devotees were there. They were sitting, they were given seats on a raised wooden platform. They sat there. Sarvam Bhattacharya, he chose to sit down. He took permission from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he sat down. And then all the devotees, they started taking their lunch. They sat down to take their lunch. Then who would serve? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he instructed all his sannyasis to serve. Serving prasad is a privilege, and only the senior most devotees were given that seva. It was not the seva which is the menial seva. So the senior most of the devotees, they started serving. Meanwhile, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking at one devotee. He started calling Haridas, Haridas. He was trying to see where is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was standing at a distance and he spoke. Bhakta Sange Prabhu Karuna Prasad Angikar E Sange Vasita Yogya Nahi Mui Chhar. Mahaprabhu wanted Haridas Thakur to come and honor Prasad with all the devotees. But as Haridas Thakur was so very humble, he said, I am an abominable, untouchable person. Let Mahaprabhu take Prasad with all the devotees, and I cannot come and sit down with all of you. Later, Govinda will give me some remnants. I'll be happy and satisfied with that. So Mahaprabhu, he did not call him again. Mahaprabhu, he always respected whatever the devotees' feelings were. Although they were the highest of the devotees, Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he didn't tell, oh, please come, you are the greatest of the devotees. He always respected the mood and sentiments of the devotees. Similarly, when Sanatana Goswami once came to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came through the sandy beach in the noontime. It was burning hot sand. Mahaprabhu asked, why you came from that way? Sanatana Goswami said, I didn't want that the servants of Jagannath get contaminated by touching me accidentally. Mahaprabhu, he would always tell Sanatana Goswami, by touching you, the entire world is getting purified. Mahaprabhu would embrace Sanatana Goswami. But he never ever told Sanatana Goswami that you don't have to follow all this. You are greatest of the devotees. He always respected and appreciated the humility shown by the devotees because humility is the basic principle of spiritual life. That's why Mahaprabhu tell this words Trinadapi Suni Chena Tarorapi Sahishna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should wear this verse around the neck on the thread of the holy names. And all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they epitomized this humility. Although Mahaprabhu, he propagated his movement through these devotees. सन्यासी पंडित गुणेन कुरिते गर्भनाश नीच शूद्र द्वारा कुरेन धर्मेरा विप्रकाश हरिदास द्वारा नाम महात्म्य प्रकाश सनातन द्वारा भक्ति सिद्धांत विलास श्री रूप द्वारा ब्रजेर प्रेम रस लीला की बुझते पारे गंभीर चैतन्य रखेला. So Mahaprabhu, although he made his greatest of the devotees from families of Malechas and Yamanas, or apparently those who were outcasts. Rup Sanatana Goswami, they had already become, they were made as Muslims. Dabir Kha Sakar Malik. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. But to destroy the faith of sannyasis and pandits who are thinking only a born Vaishnava, only a born Brahmana can do so. Neech Shudra Dwara Karen Dharmera Prakash. But these devotees, they never felt that, just see how we are so glorious. They always felt themselves very insignificant. It was not an artificial show of humility. They actually meant it. They felt like that. So Haridas Thakur said, oh, I don't want to sit with all of you. I don't deserve. You please sit and have prasad. I will take prasad later. Then the servers, who are the servers? They are the leaders of the Vaishnavas. Swarup Damodar Goswami, Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, then Kashishwar, Gopinath, Vaninath, Shankar. They all began serving prasad. And meanwhile, all the devotees, they were chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So prasad sevan goes with the chanting of the names of the Lord always. It is mentioned many times. Whenever devotees are taking prasad, they keep on chanting Hari Hari in between, always remembering the Lord. And as all the devotees are sitting for prasad, Mahaprabhu remembers Krishna having this wonderful pastime of eating his lunch with all the cowherd friends in Vrindavan. Pulena bhojana Krishna purve yaiche koila, sei lila Mahaprabhur mane smriti hoila. So Mahaprabhu remembered the same pastimes. That is the difference between an sadhaka and the pure devotee or an advanced devotee. For a sadhaka, it is not a spontaneous thing to remember Krishna. He has to be consciously planning his life in such a way that he or she can remember Krishna always. That is called a sadhana bhakti. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana vida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam riti sadhata. When we have no spontaneous love, but still we are doing it because we have heard from the acharyas, we have heard from the scriptures. And the same things will evoke spontaneous love. Nitya siddhasya bhava will arise in the heart when somebody starts practicing the sadhana bhakti. But for pure devotee, it is natural. They spontaneously remember Krishna in any situation of life. And the more one is advanced, the more one can remember Krishna in any situation. The more one can connect any situation one sees in the world with Krishna consciousness. That's why all the devotees, disciples of Prabhupada, they would like to be with Prabhupada on the morning walks. They were the most interesting walks. Srila Prabhupada, he would just connect. He would see anything and he would connect it with some Krishna conscious philosophy. One time Srila Prabhupada was walking and he saw bird droppings. And Srila Prabhupada pointed at them and said, "Oh, just see, there are bird droppings. What can you see from them? What can you learn from them?" So everybody's thinking maybe Prabhupada is seeing some esoteric things. And then Prabhupada said, that means even birds are attached to their trees. Because a bird has spent more than a day, a night on a tree branch, so therefore there are so many bird droppings. Everyone in this world is attached to their place. So that's how with small observations, Prabhupada would give profound philosophical wisdom. That is advanced devotee. He can connect anything with Krishna consciousness. And that's why in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna gives how an advanced devotee sees the world. How one should develop the Krishna conscious vision. Anything you see in this world, all powerful, opulent, and splendorous things come from the spark of my splendor. Krishna tells. That's how we can be always conscious of Krishna in any situation. Mahaprabhu is remembering Krishna dining with all the cowherd friends in Vrindavan. And as he was remembering the pastimes of Krishna, Mahaprabhu became agitated with spontaneous, ecstatic love, but he realized this is not the right time to show ecstatic symptoms. He restrained himself. And then devotees were coming and serving. They wanted to serve Mahaprasad, all the wonderful Mahaprasad to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But as ideal sannyasi, he said, Prabhu kahe more deha lafra vyanjane pitha pana amrit bhutika deha bhaktagane. Please give me some lafra vyanjan. What is lafra vyanjan? Lafra vyanjan is a vegetable made of by mixing various green leafy vegetables. It is a very simple, given to poor people. It is mixed with rice and given to poor people. It is not anything opulent. And Amrit Bhutika is what? Amrit Bhutika is chapati or thick puri mixed with condensed milk, also called as Amrit Rasabali. So Mahaprabhu says, please give me Lafra Vyanjan and Pitha Pana, all these cakes and sweets and Amrit Gutika, you distribute to all the devotees. सर्वज्ञ प्रभु जाने न यार यही भाई तारे तारे से ही देव आए स्वरूप द्वारा आए. Interestingly, Lord likes to serve his devotees. Lord is omniscient, he knows everyone's likings. And through Swarup Damodar Goswami, he would give every devotee what that devotee liked. That's all. He loves to fulfill the desires, spiritual desires of his devotees. And of course, material desires also. But in course of fulfilling the material desires of his devotees, he purifies the material desires of his devotees. That's the difference between asking some devtas for material things and Krishna for material things. When we ask some material things from Krishna, Krishna may fulfill because he likes to fulfill the desires. But Krishna knows, oh, why is he asking for such material desires? I'll give them and I'll purify them also. Satyam dishatyarthitam arthito nrinam naivarthadoyat punararthitam yataha swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam ichhapithanam nijapada pallavam. It is true, Satyam, Arthitam, Arthito nrinam. If somebody wants material things, Krishna gives it. Naivarthadoyat punararthitam yataha. But it does not give in a way that a devotee will ask for the same thing again. How he does that? Swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam. He gives himself to that devotee. The devotee says, Anichyatam, I don't want you, my Lord. I only want my material desires to be fulfilled. I will connect with you later. Lord says, no, ऐसा नहीं होता है. I come with my benedictions. 1+1 free है. And when Krishna comes in the life of a devotee, what happens? Ichha pidhanam nijapada pallavam. The Lord's lotus feet is a reservoir of all benedictions. All the desires are fulfilled. So therefore, Lord is just satisfying the desires of his devotees. He's directing, okay, please give him this, give that devotee this sweet, this dish. And then everyone was enjoying eating wonderful prasad. Jagadananda came. Jagadananda is famous to give Mahaprabhu all the sense gratification. And when Mahaprabhu doesn't take it, he becomes angry, he fasts. So now Jagadananda came. Jagadananda Pandit brought all the first class preparations. And he put everything on the plate of Mahaprabhu. Outwardly, Mahaprabhu became very angry. But nonetheless, he could not do anything because he knew that if I don't take this, Jagadananda will fast. And Mahaprabhu will suffer more seeing Jagadananda fasting. And Jagadananda was putting all the things, sometimes by trick, sometimes by force. And Mahaprabhu had to eat everything a little bit. Na khaile Jagadananda karibe upavas. Tare aage kichu khana namane eitras. Mahaprabhu knew if I don't eat Jagadananda, then he will fast. And because of this fear of upavas, of Jagadananda, Manitras, Mahaprabhu is fearful. You can imagine Supreme Personality of Godhead. Madhayat bhakti vatoyam suryas tapati madhayat varshati indro dahati agni mrityushcharati madhayat. Indra showers rains because of the fear of the Lord. Sun rises. Agni becomes hot. This is all happening, and death comes. It's all coming by the fear of the Lord. All the devtas are fearful. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead is fearful of anger of a small devotee. not a small devotee, but his devotee. That's how the Lord is controlled by his devotees. यद्यपि स्वतंत्र प्रभु ना है निवारण भक्त इच्छा बिना प्रभु ना करे गमन. Lord is completely bound by the love of his devotees. Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, and every time he would ask permission from devotees, devotees would say, now Mahaprabhu, Janmashtami is coming, please wait. Radhashtami is coming, please wait. Rath Yatra is coming, please wait. And first Rath Yatra, then Janmashtami, then Radhashtami, then Sharad Purnima is coming, please wait. And that's how Mahaprabhu, then Ram Navami is coming, then Narsim Chaturdashi is coming, then Chandan Yatra is coming, Jhulan Yatra is coming. And they kept Mahaprabhu from going to Vrindavan for 2 years. Bhakti Ichha Vina Prabhu Na Kare Gaman. Here Mahaprabhu is becoming angry. Evam Sandarshita Hyanga Harina Vrityavashyata Swavashenapi Krishnena Yasyedam Sa Ishwaram Vashe. The controllers of the universe are under the control of Krishna, and he is controlled by the love of his devotees. His friends, they would tell Krishna, if you go now, Rohini would tell Yashoda, please go and call Krishna. Yashoda Mai would come and tell Krishna, you have to come back. And Krishna has to leave now. All the friends say, Krishna, if you leave now, tomorrow we will not play with you. We will not allow you to play with us. And Krishna had to stay back. When gopis, they say, Krishna, if you dance, we'll give you sweet. If you sing, we'll give you makhan, butter. Gopi stobito nrityat bhagavan balavat kvachit udgayati kvachin mugdas tadvasho daru yantravat. He is like a puppet in the hands of the gopis. Why Krishna is doing all that? This is all the manifestation of the Madhurya Bhava. The same thing is happening in Navadvip also, in Jagannath Puri also. Na khoile Jagadananda koi karibe upavas tar aage kichu khana mane tras. That's why Mahaprabhu had to eat something, because he was afraid. He was fearful that Jagadananda will fast. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami came. He brought some more sweet preparations and some other wonderful opulent prasad. And he told Mahaprabhu, just take a little bit of this Mahaprasad. This is what Lord Jagannath has honored. Can you please taste and tell us how it is? And saying this, Swarup Damodar would place something on the plate of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu had to eat everything. And this didn't happen once, it happened many times. Ei mata dui jana kore bar bar vichitra ei dui bhaktera sneha vyavahar. Again and again they were doing like this. And externally Mahaprabhu was angry, but internally he was very satisfied. Vichitra ei dui janerama sneha vyavahar. It was wonderful. Then Sarvam Bhattacharya was also there. Mahaprabhu made him sit beside him, and he told Swarup Damodar, please feed him also nicely. And he was telling, Swarup Damodar was putting all the food, all the Mahaprasad on the plate of Sarvam Bhattacharya. And Sarvam Bhattacharya was also seeing how Swarup Damodar and Jagadananda, they are serving Mahaprabhu all these things. He was smiling. Mahaprabhu, as he was eating, Sarvam Bhattacharya was eating, Gopinath Acharya, he was very happy looking at Sarvam Bhattacharya, enjoying the wonderful association of Mahaprabhu and honoring the remnants of Mahaprasad. He tells, Kaha Bhattacharya Purva Jada Vyavahar, Kaha E Paramananda Karaha Vichar. Let's just see where was this Bhattacharya. He was completely engrossed in mundane logic, mundane behavior he was doing. And now he is drowning in the ecstasy of love of God. Just see. Previously also when Gopinath Acharya, he saw how Mahaprabhu transformed Sarvam Bhattacharya. And after this entire wonderful pastimes of Rath Yatra, it happens that all the devotees were taking bath in Indradyumna Sarovar. And Sarvabhauma Sangha Khele Ramananda Rai, Gambhirya Gela Duhar Hoila Shishupray. Ramananda Rai and Sarvam Bhattacharya. Sarvam Bhattacharya is an elderly person. Ramananda Rai is a government officer. Gambhirya Gela Duhar Hoila Shishupray. They were playing like children. And Mahaprabhu, when he sees, he tells Gopinath Acharya, just tell them to behave properly. Mahaprabhu Tadohar Chanchalya Dekhiya, Gopinath Acharya Kichu Kahina Hasiya. Mahaprabhu smile and tells Gopinath Acharya, just tell them to behave properly. Pandit Gambhir Duhe Pramanik Jan, Bal Chanchalya Kore Koraha Varjan. They are Pandit Gambhir. They are known to be very, very learned scholars. Pramanik Jan, they are like the leaders. And they are behaving like children. Bala Chanchalya Kare, just stop them. Gopinath Acharya tells, Oh Mahaprabhu, this is all your mercy. Gopinath Acharya kahe, Tomar Mahakripa Sindhu, Uchalit Kori Bare Tare Ek Bindu. Oh my Lord, this is your Kripa Mahasindhu. This is the ocean of your mercy. One drop of your ocean of your mercy can drown even Meru and Mandar. Meru Mandar Dubai Jatha Tatha, Eidui Gandashaila Ihar Ki Katha. Are Mahaprabhu, your mercy can drown Meru and Mandar. What are these two? They are small pebbles. Eidui Gandashaila Ihar Ki Katha. And the Sarvam Bhattacharya, a whole life he was busy in eating the dry cakes of logic. Now, by your mercy, he is drinking the nectar of Harikatha. Shushka Tarka Kholi Khaite Janma Gela Ja Tare Lilamrit Piyao E Kripa Tomar. Shushka Tarka Kholi Khaite. Khali means the dry cakes. When the oil is taken out of some seeds, whatever remains is called as khali. Shushka, dry cakes of logic. There is no juice in that, no rasa in that. And he was doing his whole life the same thing. He was eating that logic cakes. He was a logician. You are making him drink the nectar of Harikatha. It is all your mercy, O my Lord. So Gopinath Acharya says the same thing. She was absorbed in just mundane behavior, Jada Vyavahar. And now Premananda Vyavahar. Srila Prabhupada writes, Sarvam Bhattacharya was previously a smart Brahman. Who is a smart Brahman? One who strictly follows the Vedic principles on the mundane platform. Srila Prabhupada writes some of the qualities of smart Brahmana. Smart Brahman, they think, oh, this prasad is ordinary food. It is not transcendental. When we chant this mantra, Mahaprasad prayers, it begins with a very profound statement mentioned in Padma Puran. Mahaprasad Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swa Alpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Naivachayat. Whenever somebody has not developed sufficient bhakti punya, bhakti sukriti, he cannot have faith in three things. Mahaprasad of the Lord, Nama of the Lord, and the Vaishnavas. Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmani, and the Vaishnava. It's not Namo Brahmani. Sometimes devotees say Namo Brahmani. It is Nama Brahmani. So now, Vaishnavas and Mahaprasad, it is not so easy to develop faith in them. That's why when Mahaprabhu gave this Mahaprasad in the morning time to Sarvam Bhattacharya, he was just getting up from the bed and he got up chanting Vishnu, Vishnu, Krishna, Krishna, not Vishnu, Krishna, Krishna. And as soon as he opened the door, Mahaprabhu gives him Mahaprasad and Sarvam Bhattacharya, coming from a smart background where one does not eat without taking bath, without brushing teeth, doing all the rituals Sandhya. He eats it directly. And it quotes a verse from scriptures. Nadesha niyamastatra nagala niyamastatha prapti matrena bhoktavyam natra kala vicharana. In eating the prasad of the Lord, there are no rules and regulations. Nadesha niyamam nakala niyam. Anytime, anywhere you can. It's seeing this conviction, Mahaprabhu he becomes so joyful. He says, Aji mui kainu vaikuntha arohan. He says, today, Aji mui jininu sarvatri bhuvan. Aji mui karinu vaikuntha arohan. Aji mora purna hoila sarva abhilash. Sarvabhaumera hoila mahaprasade vishwas. Today I have conquered 3 worlds. Today I have achieved Vaikuntha. Today Sarvabhaum has developed faith in Mahaprasad. All my desires are fulfilled. So to have faith in Mahaprasad, it is not an ordinary thing. It is transcendental. It is not different than Krishna himself. Samartha Brahmanas, they cannot have this faith. And they think, oh, Govinda is not the original form of the Lord. Original form is impersonal Brahman. This form is the material form. And the absolute truth comes in the mode of goodness, then he manifests as avatar. It is a material conception of the Lord. So therefore, now Gopinath Acharya is pointing that by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Sarvam Bhattacharya, he is now experiencing the joy of bhakti. He has developed faith in Mahaprasad. Sarvam Bhattacharya, he tells, Sarvabhaum kahe ami tarkik kubuddhi, tomar prasada more sampat siddhi. He expresses, he also confirms, yes, I was just tarkik kubuddhi, I was simply a less intelligent logician. Tomar prasade, only by your mercy, O Gopinath Acharya, I have developed this opulence of perfection. Otherwise, it was not possible for me. Only by the mercy of the devotees one can get devotion. Bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. Nobody can get devotion automatically. Krishna se tomara, Krishna jite para, tomara shakati ache. Ami to kangala, Krishna Krishna bole dhai tava pache pache. Only Krishna's devotees can give devotion. That's why a devotee always relishes and aspires for association. Even when Krishna appears in front of devotees, what are they asking? Even at the time of death, what Parikshit Maharaj asks? Oh Brahmanas, if I have to come back again in this world, please give me 3 things. Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasanga chatadashrayeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami srishtim maitresu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. If I have to come back, give me 3 things, O my Lord. Bhagavati anante rati prasanga chatadashrayeshu amaitresu sarvatra. Vaishnava Seva, Namaruchi, and Jivadaya. So, devotee association is the most important thing which a devotee aspires. That's what Dhruv Maharaj is asking, that's what Prahlad is asking. Because in association of devotees, we get to know the highest epitome, the epitome of what is devotion. Otherwise, we will be thinking, I'm doing bhakti nicely. When we come in association of devotees, good devotees, we realize I have a long way to go. Sarvam Bhattacharya is expressing his gratitude. Tomar prasade murai sampat siddhi. By your mercy, I have achieved this perfection of opulence. Mahaprabhu bina keha nahi dayamay. Kakera garuda kore aiche kon hoy. Nobody is as merciful as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was like a crow eating garbage. That's how crows are. As Bhagavatam describes in the first canto, Vayasam Tirtham. The crows, you'll find crows in the beautiful gardens. Crows are there in abundance in the places where garbage is there. All the literature of the world, maybe materialistic literatures or impersonal literatures also, they are like a devotee is not at all interested in any of them. It is abominable for a devotee. Therefore, he was saying, I was like a crow. Kakera Garuda kare. But the Garuda carries Krishna on his shoulders. By the mercy of the devotees, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a crow became Garuda. Of course, that's the humility of Sarvam Bhattacharya. As Mahaprabhu would tell, you are already a great devotee from the past life. And we are getting purified by your association, Sarvam Bhattacharya. So Sarvam Bhattacharya says, I was like a crow. So a devotee, however advanced he may become or she may become, never forgets from where they came from. What was our past? That should make us always humble. We should never think what I have become now. We should always, of course, we should think what we have become now because that should increase our gratitude towards the Lord. At the same time, we should never forget what we were. That will keep us humble because we will understand that it is not by my own strength. It is by the mercy of the Lord, mercy of the devotees of the Lord. Otherwise, I was looking at this, I was doing the same thing. आश्चर्यमेतद् हि मनुष्यलोके सुधां परित्यज्य विषं पिबन्ति नामानि नारायणगोचराणि त्यक्त्वान्यवाचा कुहका पठन्ति. People in this world, mostly they are drinking poison. All the literatures of the world, they are like poison. नयध्वचश्चित्रपदं हरेर्यशो जगत्पवित्रं प्रगणीत करहिचित् तद्वायसं तीर्थमुशन्ति मानसा न यत्र हंसा निरमन्त्य शिक्षया. All the literatures which are not having the descriptions of Krishna's name, form, pastimes, they are like the pilgrimage of crows. Devotees are not interested in any of them. So he's saying, I was like a crow, I was converted into Garuda by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who else can do it? तार्किक श्रृगाल संगे भिउ भिउ करी से मुखे एबे सदा कही कृष्ण हरि. Then he compares himself with a Shrigala, with a jackal. I was just associating with the jackals. All the logicians, they are like jackals. And what jackals, what is the sound they create? Bhiu bhiu kari. It's not a pleasing sound. So all the literatures of the world, whatever people are saying, it is not at all pleasing for a Vaishnava. Only thing which happens is it brings one more and more into material conception of life. And even impersonalistic literatures, one may feel that, one may think that they are liberated, but they are not liberated. They again come back to the material conception of life and engage in all the philanthropic activities. Arugya krichrena param padam tatah patanti adha anadrit yushmatankrayah. तार्किक श्रृगाल संगे भिउ भिउ करी से मुखे बे सदा कह कृष्ण हरि. By your mercy, O Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now I am with the same mouth I am chanting Krishna Hari. If somebody drinks poison, How to counteract the poison? Drink nectar with the same mouth. So far, in millions of lives, we have just spoken all the poisonous things, drank poison of this world. In this life, what we have to do? Drink the nectar from the same mouth. And Krishna Katha is the most nectarian thing. It is the Aushadhi. Nivritta Tarshay Rupagiyamana Bhavaushadha Shrotra Manobhirama. It is the only thing which is pleasing to the mind and ears. That's the most nectarian thing. It is a medicine for the soul. Vyamoham prashamaushadam munimano vritti pravrityaushadam Daityendratikaushadam tribhuvane sanjeevanaikaushadam Bhaktyatant bhavabhaya pradhvamsanaikaushadam. In the end, this verse says, Pibamana Shri Krishna Divya Aushadam. Vyamoha Prashama Aushadam. This world is a terrible material world. To counteract the poisons of this world here, to counteract the sinful tendencies of this world, to purify the sinful behaviors of the world, there's only one thing which works. Oh my mind, please drink the nectar of the medicine of Harikatha, the Harina. Vibhavana Sri Krishna Divya Aushadham. So whatever we have done, whatever poison we have drunk, there's only one solution. Drink nectar of Harikatha. Kaha bahir mukhatar kike shishyagana sange, kaha ei sang sudha samudra tarange. He says, I was associating with all the disciples of logic, all non-devotees. Tarkika Shishyagana Krishna, Bahirmukh, they were non-devotees. Tarkika Shishyagana Sangit, they were non-devotees. They were false logicians. And now what I am doing? Now I am merged in the waves of transcendental ecstatic association of devotees. Srila Prabhupada quotes Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what is Bahirmukh? Bahirmukh means a person who is busy tasting material enjoyment. Krishna Bahirmukh hoiya jiva bhogavancha kare. As soon as we start tasting material enjoyment, we are caught by material nature. And such a person thinks that I am the enjoyer. And is under the influence of the external energy. Srila Prabhupada quotes two verses of Prahlad Maharaj as he is teaching his father Hiranyakashipu. Oh my father, because you are absorbed in materialistic household life. This intelligence of serving Krishna will not arise in your mind, either by your own effort, by efforts of others, and even if you put together everything. Matirana Krishna Parata Svatova Mitho Vipadyeta Griha Vritanam. You are Griha Vrata. You have taken a vow of family life. Adanta Gopi Vishatartha Mishram. You are Adanta, you are you are uncontrolled in your senses. And therefore, what are you doing, my father? You are chewing what is already chewed. And therefore, you are always thinking that Krishna, Vishnu is your enemy. But actually, Vishnu is the real well-wisher of everyone. The real swartha of all the living entities is to serve Vishnu. But people like you, they have taken shelter of false shelters, durashaya. And in this society, in this world, what is happening? The blind leaders are followed by blind people. Andha yathandi rupaniyamana, and they are both falling in the deep, dark well of material existence. So Srila Prabhupada writes, the materialists, they can't understand what is spiritual world. For them, they only see how this world is so very beneficial, so very attractive. And if somebody wants to see the spiritual reality, spiritual world, one can see spiritual world only through scriptures, Shastra Chakshu. There is no other way. There is only one way to see the Lord, Bhagavatam says a beautiful verse. In that verse, it is described, one can smell the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord through the air of scriptures. That is Shruti Vata Nitam. Jighranti Karna Vivare Shruti Vata Nitam. Jighranti. One can smell the aroma of the lotus feet through the air of scriptures. Shruti Vata Nitam. So scriptures, they reveal the spiritual world. And by reading scriptures only one can distinguish what is material world, what is spiritual world. But because the people of the world, they have forgotten their spiritual identity, they are called as Bahirmukh. So we'll stop here. We'll continue from verse number 185. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki jai. I think there is a question. As you explain, both Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrta have different text explanations of lila of Mahaprabhu. For reading, how to go ahead simultaneously refer both or one by one. Kaviraj Goswami and all our acharyas, all our current acharyas, they have given emphasis to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada has given emphasis to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Saraswati Thakur has given emphasis to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that is our PhD in literature. That is what we should focus on first. Understand the pastimes that are mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, absorb our mind, absorb our heart in those pastimes. And then, of course, there are many other literatures. Chaitanya Bhagavat is the another most important literature a devotee should read. Then Chaitanya Mangal is there, written by Lochan Das Thakur. And there are many other scriptures on biographies of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this Chaitanya Charitamrita is the most important scripture. So we focus on that first because Kaviraj Goswami, he has written it in a way where philosophy is given such wonderfully. It is a blend of philosophy and stories. So that makes the foundation very, very strong. Srila Prabhupada would tell that after reading the first 9 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita, or first 7 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita, nobody can leave Krishna consciousness in the dearth of philosophy. Philosophy will be very, very clear after reading Chaitanya Charitamrita's first 7 chapters. So that is how contribution of Kaviraj Goswami stands unique, stands alone. And that's what we should begin with. And of course, all the other books, Chaitanya Bhagavat is also another very, very wonderful literature, which gives very, very sweet pastimes and the details of Mahaprabhu's lila. So that also we should listen. Maybe after Chaitanya Charitamrita we'll start Chaitanya Bhagavat. I don't know when that will happen. Hare Krishna. Any other questions anybody has? Okay, you can unmute yourself if anybody has any questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for that. Prabhuji, your Bhagavatam Charcha has stopped now on the every Thursday because you were taking every Thursday 6 o'clock, but now we are not getting that links.
Yeah, because of some time constraints and some other services have come up. I'll start. I don't know when I'll start, but in future I'll start that. We are on 4th canto, I think that 4th canto around 15,
Actually,
16.
this CC is on the Tuesday, and we have our class in Monday temple. So it is not possible to attend this also. Today, fortunately, on Monday, so it is happened to attend. So, requesting you. Thank you for it.
Thank you, Mataji. Let's see. Okay, I think there are no questions, so we'll.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, very nice class, Prabhuji, and you gave the example of the birds where Srila Prabhupada mentioned that they are attached to one tree. So I just have one doubt, Prabhuji, like in spiritual life as a practicing devotee, maybe material activities little bit change to spiritual, but there also I develop attachment like my deities, my house program, and all these things. So how one should come out of that, or is it good to have like that attachment? And if not, then what we should do, Prabhuji?
Attachment, being detached does not mean being irresponsible. As a householder, it is a duty of the householder to take care of family and all the other responsibilities. But in due course of taking care of the responsibilities, we should keep Krishna as our priority. That is the mood of a devotee in a household life. Because the nature of the household life is, it is very, very entangling and absorbing. But if we every day consciously clean our mind and consciousness by chanting, by hearing, by associating, then we will not get attached in the household life. We'll do the needful. It's like water on the lotus leaf. Be in the world, but not of this world. So that's how a devotee is. Takes care of the responsibilities, but doesn't get affected, doesn't get too much attached. And of course, this detachment comes slowly and gradually, automatically. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagya. Vairagya will come for sure. But in the name of Vairagya, we should not become irresponsible. Otherwise, the society will condemn devotees and blame devotees. So that is how we have to handle our responsibilities. If we are in a situation where we can renounce the world, that's a different thing. But most of the times it is not the case. So while practicing our Krishna consciousness, we have to take care of the worldly responsibilities in a detached way. And for that, one needs a personal guidance of senior devotees at every step. It is a very, very subtle thing, very, very delicate balance. How to be detached but not irresponsible. So for that, we need the guidance of devotees on a regular basis. Keeping Krishna consciousness in priority, beginning with chanting, trying to chant attentively every day. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, sir. Now, that means, Prabhuji, I get attached to the spiritual activity, and if it is creating problem, I mean, then isn't it a extended material attachment only? Although I may say I'm attached with my deities and this and that, but inside it is somewhere it's a extended material attachment. Is it, Prabhuji?
Extended sense gratification, Srila Prabhupada, he would tell personal sense gratification and extended sense gratification. Extended sense gratification means when I'm taking care of my family and society and nation because I am enjoying through them. But a devotee does not take care of the family and society and nation because he or she wants to enjoy. A devotee takes care of the responsibilities because it is a duty, it is a seva given to that devotee. Krishna has entrusted us with all these services. I'll take care of them without any expectations in return. So that is the mood of a devotee. Do the needful as a service to the Lord. Otherwise, when we serve our society, serve our family, we expect something in return. I want this, I want some reciprocation, but the devotee is not expecting anything. Does the needful, whatever comes, the devotee is satisfied. That is the highest level of consciousness a devotee should possess. Of course, it takes a long time. It is not so easy. So we have to always keep taking guidance from other devotees, how to be in this consciousness, how to reach this consciousness, And there will be obstacles, there will be some problems, and we have to always continue taking guidance. So that's how extended sense gratification means I am in the center. Krishna consciousness means Krishna is in the center. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. That is not Falgu Vairagya. Srila Prabhupada would always tell it is not Falgu Vairagya. Falgu means I reject everything. But Krishna devotee is not he does not reject anything. He uses everything in Krishna's service, not his own or her own service. So that is important.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.